The Philippines, a nation of over 7,000 islands, is known for its stunning beauty and the warmth of its people. However, this tropical paradise faces a recurring threat: typhoons. These powerful storms, with their ferocious winds and torrential rains, have been an unwelcome visitor to the islands for centuries. For Filipinos, typhoons are a fact of life. They are woven into the fabric of their history and culture. Generations have passed down stories of survival and resilience in the face of these natural disasters, but the storms are changing. Climate change is making them stronger, more intense, and more frequent. What was once a seasonal threat is now a constant worry. The Philippines is now on the front lines of a changing climate, facing a future where typhoons could become even more devastating. The resilience of the Filipino people will be tested like never before. Scientists are sounding the alarm. Climate change is supercharging typhoons. The link is clear and undeniable. As global temperatures rise, so does the temperature of the ocean's surface. This warmer water acts like fuel, giving typhoons more energy and making them more powerful. Warmer air also holds more moisture, leading to more intense rainfall during typhoons. This means more flooding, more landslides, and more destruction. The impact on the Philippines is particularly severe. The country sits in the world's most active typhoon basin, directly in the path of these increasingly destructive storms. What was once considered a once-in-a-century typhoon is now happening with alarming regularity. The connection between climate change and stronger typhoons is no longer a matter of debate, it is a scientific fact. The Philippines is living with the consequences every day. As typhoons approach, the Philippine government springs into action. Evacuations are ordered for vulnerable communities and emergency shelters are opened. The military is deployed to assist with rescue and relief efforts. The government has developed sophisticated early warning systems to alert residents of approaching storms. These systems use text messages, sirens, and public address systems to get the word out. Despite these efforts, the challenges are immense. The Philippines is a densely populated country with many people living in poverty. This makes it difficult to evacuate everyone who is at risk. And as climate change makes typhoons more frequent and intense, the government's resources are stretched thin. The need for better infrastructure and more resilient communities is more urgent than ever. Typhoons leave a trail of destruction in their wake. Homes are flattened, bridges collapse, and roads are washed away. The damage to infrastructure is often catastrophic. In many parts of the Philippines, homes are built from lightweight materials that are no match for typhoon-force winds. Even concrete structures can be damaged or destroyed by flooding and landslides. The impact on the economy is devastating. Typhoons disrupt businesses, destroy crops, and displace families. The cost of rebuilding after a major typhoon can be in the billions of dollars. The Philippines is trapped in a vicious cycle. Typhoons cause widespread damage, setting back development and leaving communities more vulnerable to the next storm. Section 5. A nation in mourning, casualties, and the humanitarian crisis. Every typhoon brings with it the tragic loss of life. The Philippines has suffered through countless storms, each one leaving behind grieving families and a nation in mourning. The human toll of these disasters is immeasurable. Families are torn apart, homes are lost, and livelihoods are destroyed. The emotional scars can run deep. In the immediate aftermath of a typhoon, the focus shifts to search and rescue efforts. Emergency responders work tirelessly to find survivors and provide medical attention to the injured. The humanitarian crisis that follows a major typhoon is overwhelming. Thousands of people are left homeless, without food, water, or sanitation. The risk of disease outbreaks is high. Section 6. The Filipino Spirit, Resilience, and Community Support. Despite the devastation and heartbreak, the Filipino spirit shines through. In the face of adversity, communities come together to support one another. Neighbors help neighbors clear debris, rebuild homes, and share what little food and water they have. The spirit of bayanihan, or community cooperation, is deeply ingrained in Filipino culture. Even in the darkest of times, there is a sense of hope and resilience. Filipinos have a remarkable ability to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and start rebuilding their lives. This spirit of resilience is what gives the Philippines the strength to face the growing threat of climate change. It is a testament to the enduring human spirit. Section 7. Case Studies, Gaemi, Yagi, and Usagi, a trifecta of destruction. The year 2024 will be etched in the memories of Filipinos as a year of relentless storms. Typhoon Gaemi, in July, brought widespread flooding to Manila with water levels reaching the second story of buildings. 2 large ships sank in the harbor, highlighting the storm's power. Just 2 months later, Typhoon Yagi, the strongest storm of the year in Asia, slammed into the Philippines. It left a trail of destruction across the country, causing severe flooding, landslides, and infrastructure damage. A bridge collapsed in Vietnam, underscoring the storm's reach. As if these weren't enough, Typhoon Usagi followed in November, the 5th major storm to hit the Philippines in just 3 weeks. The northern part of the country was particularly hard hit, with thousands of homes damaged or destroyed. These 3 typhoons, each one more powerful than the last, serve as a stark reminder of the growing threat of climate change. They are a glimpse into a future where such extreme weather events could become the norm. Section 8. The Long Road to Recovery, Rebuilding and Adapting. The aftermath of a typhoon is a time of immense challenge but also of opportunity. As communities rebuild, they have a chance to build back better, stronger, and more resilient to future storms. This means investing in sturdier infrastructure such as typhoon-resistant homes and buildings. It also means developing better early warning systems and evacuation plans. But perhaps the most important aspect of adaptation is addressing the root cause of the problem: climate change. The Philippines must work with the international community to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and limit global warming. This is not just an environmental issue. It is a matter of survival for the Philippines. The country's future depends on its ability to adapt to a changing climate and mitigate the impacts of more intense typhoons. Section 9. Conclusion. A call to action. Confronting the future. The Philippines stands at a crossroads. The country's beauty and the resilience of its people are increasingly threatened by the growing intensity and frequency of typhoons, fueled by climate change. The world has witnessed the devastation caused by these storms. The images of flooded homes, displaced families, and grieving communities have become all too familiar. But there is still time to act. The international community must come together to address the climate crisis and support vulnerable countries like the Philippines. This is not just a matter of charity, it is a matter of justice. The Philippines, a country that has contributed relatively little to global warming, is bearing the brunt of its impacts. The Filipino people have shown incredible resilience in the face of adversity. Now it is time for the world to show the same resilience by taking action on climate change before it's too late.